In this video, we're going to look at some cool new stuff to support rifles from Ultradyne. Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com. What we've got in this bag here is a carbon fiber tripod from Ultradyne, and here we have the Orbit Ballhead from Ultradyne. We're going to put the two together. We're going to try them out, talk about some of the unique features, and I'm going to start by getting these parts out of their bags. So here we've got two major components. We've got the Ultradyne carbon fiber tripod assembly, and then we've got the Orbit Ballhead. This specific Orbit Ballhead has the combo Arca Picatinny clamp, and it's also got the dyno lock. So the dyno lock is going to keep things from sliding forward and aft, and this clamp is really cool. So I'm going to actually show you before I get this mounted. So we can see we had this Picatinny rail on the bottom of our fore end. We just tighten it until it's secure. Very, very secure way to clamp the fore end of your rifle. And you notice that the Picatinny slots are going to index on the crossbars there, right? So that's one way we can use this. And then if we open it all the way, we're going to be able to use an Arca rail with that. So I kind of like the dual purpose nature of this specific clamp assembly. So let's say we've got this on the bottom of our, and we're gonna have to get the dyno lock out of the way. Pull that down. Okay, so we can get it a little bit tight, just kind of finger tight, and then push up on dyno lock and then move it until it clicks into place, just like that. And what happens is there's two little bosses that come up into the holes. That's how dyno lock works. We clamp it down and we're good to go. So that is the combo clamp. And we've also got this tensioning knob here that's going to allow us to loosen, move the rifle, and then tighten. And I'll show that when we get the rifle on the tripod. So a really cool head. There's a bunch of different options for these ball heads from Ultradyne. This particular one is really versatile. Okay, so I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to get the ball head installed on the tripod. I'll show you the combo, and then we're going to go up and shoot with it. So check this out. Now we've got the ball head mounted on the tripod, and I think we're pretty much ready to go up and give this a try with perhaps a few different rifles. Yep, Oh, he misses. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Out. That's a fun game. Well, that was a lot of fun. I just went up the hill to go shooting. We did center fire and rim fire. I'll get into that in just a moment. Before I went up, I actually swapped out the rubber feet with these spiked feet. And they just screw in, and you can either use an Allen key through the hole to tighten them, or you can use a wrench. Either way, I like to have the spiked feet because in the sand, it helps provide a little extra footing. Really good on the rocks, really good off of a wood log, various things like that. And overall, the tripod, it folds down to a very compact form factor. You can articulate the legs the other way and then raise this is how it comes in the box, a little bit more compact, and then you have to find the right rotation for the head, get the legs nested together. You can store it that way. Or if you have a little bit more length, what I preferred to do was to just store it this way. So each of the legs has 3 ratcheting positions. It goes almost out straight. There we go, like that. And that provides a good variety of different positions and heights that you can use the tripod off the ground with. So overall, a lot of versatility there. There's a hook. You could put your shooting bag there and add a little bit of extra weight, some stability for those times when you have wind, like we did up there. It's pretty common on a ridgeline. And in terms of the Orbit ball head itself, I found this thumb wheel to be very easy to use and quite handy. It gives you that ability to lock things down. And kind of my thought process this time was I was looking at the scope bubble with my left eye while I was kind of looking at through the scope with my right eye and just kind of making sure that my scope was level. Obviously, with rim fire, that becomes a real issue at 100 yards, and with center fire is just critical once you get out, beyond 100 yards or so, and the further you go, the more that matters. So I kind of liked the combination of being able to have my thumb here and then having an eye on that scope level and on the target that I was looking at. And it's nice to be able to just take the ARCA and drop it in, pivot it in place, and then tighten it just a little bit to get a nice lockdown. The Dynalock locks in place while you're pushing the rail fore and aft. And if you don't have Dynalock on your rail, it just stays down. So that means it's pretty versatile. And when you have it, it means you're not going to worry about things sliding around, which is absolutely awesome. So when I was done with the 6 ARC rifle, we moved over to a lower shooting range, out of the wind a little bit. We set up the DM Targets KYL rack and a couple of Rock Chuck targets, rimfire targets that we had, because I wanted to try this in a different set of circumstances, right? So I engaged the KYL rack left to right like you traditionally would. And what I found was it was pretty easy to find a tension level that would let you pan or tilt, depending on what you're doing, and have enough tension where you can have that stable sight picture through the scope, but also be able to move shooting position. After I was done with the KYL rack, I did a little bit of alternating target hitting to test that a little bit further, and I found that worked pretty well. And then we finished things off with a little bit longer range target shooting with the 22 LR. The Onshoot's 1710 competition. Really good rifle, has integrated ARCA, doesn't have the Dynalock, not a problem because this Dynalock can stay down kind of out of position. So really good stuff. Next, let's take a look at how we can remove one of the legs for a monopod type function. So you'll notice one of the legs says removable monopod, and all you have to do is loosen it. It's going to remove that particular leg. This becomes the monopod leg. Next, I'm going to take a 13/16 inch wrench and loosen the head from the base. Next, we're going to loosen the set screw here on this base ring so that we can loosen that ring. Loosen our tensioning. Crack this right here. Okay. I'm going to take the ring off. I'm going to set aside this dot piece here. Remove the stud, and then screw the stud in like this, and then screw the head on like that. And give it just a little snug. Now we've got a monopod. And then if we want to put the tripod back together, it's just the reverse of the process I just showed. Well, here it is, the UD carbon fiber tripod with the orbit head and my full custom 6-arc rifle. You're going to want to check out my full build where I did this custom Cerakote job on the Ultradyne UD7 chassis. What a fun thing to put together, and what a versatile shooting setup we have here. The tripod itself goes from 6.75 inches, it's really short, up to 69.75 inches. So lots of versatility. I really love the thumb tension wheel. I've got some really unique things here. Dynalock just adds to that confidence factor. Here's what I'd like to know is, what do you think about the UD carbon fiber tripod and the orbit ball head from Ultradyne? What would you use it with? Would you be using it for hunting? Would you be using it in a match, for target practice? Drop a comment and we'll start a discussion. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications, because you're going to be seeing this rifle and this support gear, the ball head and the tripod, plus some other Ultradyne equipment in upcoming stories. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel, or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you want to learn lucrative gunsmithing like what I show here on the channel, including building custom rifles and Cerakote plus a whole bunch more, you're going to want to check out the Colorado School of Trades, schooloftrades.edu. Thanks again for watching.